Okay, the next code I created is also a HTML code, dealing with HTML, JavaScript, whatever. Anyway, it has to do with the form for sending out smell codes through TV networks. So this is the type of form or program that they can use in order to create the smell codes to be sent out through the networks to the box. So, all right. As far as this is concerned, this is the page that I created. Okay. The first one, naturally, each the devices will have a certain type of code. This is hopefully to keep hacking at a minimum. If the boxes have a code, it'll be one unique code for all the boxes. That the networks and web pages and all that, all these networks, whatever, have this code that will go into there, and that way this information will only be sent to your box. In other words, because of this code or key, as you call it, or whatever, it will prevent this information from accidentally being sent to someone's computer or some other device. So hopefully this will just cause this to be sent to the Smelly Telly device, or whatever it is that it ends up being called. Okay, and of course there'll be the name of the program, like each studio or network or whatever, when they create this. If they choose to participate or whatever, each show, you have your name of the program. They will write that, and the programmers will put that in the field, and then also the title of each episode. Okay, then they'll say, is it live or not? They'll be yes or no. Then, of course, the length of the episode, and then they start putting in the smell codes. Like I just showed you, the full smell code, except for the row or column or whatever, because they don't need to know this information. The only thing that the networks and websites and all that need to know is just the rest of the code. But as far as the row or column that each smell is going to be put on, they do not need to know that information. Only the manufacturers of the microchip that's going on each sheet or cartridge would need to know that information, because some smells may end up on 3 or 4 different cartridges or whatever, especially if it's like a generic code or whatever. Okay, but anyway, you got your code, and then you got your time. Like, what time frame does the network want to send out these codes? So they can kind of decide, like, when are they going to be putting product placement, or just just to have certain smell codes sent out. Like maybe if somebody falls in a mud puddle, or they're around roses, or you know what I mean. Like at what point they'll have to decide, like at what minute and second are they going to send out this particular code into the show time frame. Like it'll be like a countdown. It'll be kind of like a timer, instead of like setting it up like as far as a date, an actual date. Because at first I thought I would go with that, but then I thought no, because there may be some conflicts with calendar dates and what have you. So it's best to run, in my opinion, on a timer system, to where each show will have a timer, executable code sent out with each show that counts down to each smell. So you have your first smell code that will execute after so many minutes and seconds within the program, then your second one, and third, and whatever. And of course, if there's going to be more smells, it asks the question down here, is there going to be more smells? And if the programmer says yes, then more fields will pop up that will allow the programmer to write those in. Otherwise, it will just stop, and they can click submit, and it will be sent either to another page or whatever, and then it will be able to be sent out as an executable file or code or whatever to coincide with that particular program to be sent out to your device. Just like also if there's commercials, like commercial breaks, which they'll be aware of this when they get like the full program or whatever. When it comes down to time to program it, they will make allowances for the commercial breaks. And if a commercial company wants to send out codes for their products, smell codes for their products or whatever, then they will have their own timer system set up with their particular commercial that will send out, their codes or whatever. So it'll all coincide together. So this is just, just to give a basis of it or whatever, okay?